Good evening, everyone. Good evening, my dear girls. Good evening, Leena ma'am and Rita. It's always a pleasure to be associated with you. So today, from past, I think 4 to 5 sessions, I've been talking on various topics on American literature. So today, I'll be talking about Walt Whitman, a very famous poet. Before I actually talk about Walt Whitman, we should know a little bit of Emerson. Um, Emerson was the founding member of Transcendental movement in America. What is Transcendentalism? It's a revolt against a Puritanical hegemony and rationality of the 18th century. It's also the late flowering Romantic movement. Um, Emerson was trying to negotiate an American writing for European Puritan influence. If you remember that America has been um, uh, the early Americans were people who fled from England, and a lot of Puritanical influence was there. So Emerson wanted to make himself free from that European Puritan influence. So he started a series of lectures right from 1836 onwards called The American Scholar, and it is a speech which is formed into an essay, a very important document and a must read in American universities even till today. The American Scholar, as a speech given by Emerson from 1937, that is on August 31st, he gave in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So Emerson was trying to create an identity of an American scholar. To create an identity means you should be erudite, an ideal person, and a man of action. One of the great American writers called Robert E. Spiller has beautifully brought out about Emerson in his book as a preface. Now, transcendentalism is also called as an American Renaissance, creating an American identity which is free from European influence. So this transcendentalism, actually it started taking the momentum in 1835. Now the manners, the deliberations, the social actions, literature, all has started as their own free from present country, that is England. America is a new nation. It doesn't have much of history, cultural inheritance, nothing to talk about mythology, etc. So America so far always looked to Britain in some things or the other. So so it's time for these Americans to stop looking to the parent country, that is England, and to have and create an identity called American identity, and break from the British influence. America in the past listened too much on the courtly love of Britain. So America had to develop as a nation, talk about everyday life of Americans. So Emerson was talking about who is an American scholar. So in 1834, in the month of May, what does he do? A couple of questions were given by him. What does he say? How do you identify the true American? Exclusively how to be an American. So for whom, to whom does he speak? With a man of action, he feels that Americans should be a man of action, thinking, manual labor involving. So most of these people, he says that poems, life stories have to be told on these kind of everyday life. So 1834, 1836, 1837 continuously delivered the lectures called the American Scholar. And in his speech or in his lectures, he always talked about preoccupation of nature, preoccupation to relationship with nature, and the main preoccupation of the transcendentalist. Now, nature plays a vital role in shaping humans from day to day. So this is the main essence of transcendental, man's relationship to nature. So before we actually can talk about Whitman, we have to talk about Emerson, we have to talk about Thoreau, and then we have to talk about Whitman. Now, what is the definition of a scholar according to Emerson? So he must be a reader, he must be a writer, a studious man. So that is the definition of scholar Emerson had given. Now, transcendental movement, when did it start? Why did it start? Who are the people? And who are the core members of it is what you have to know to understand before we actually go further. So transcendentalism movement started in 1830s in America, and the core members of the transcendentalism movements were Emerson, Thoreau, Whitman, and Margaret Fuller. Okay, they main theme was to break away from the mother country, England, and to break away from the religious strictness, rigidness, and the rigidness of the Bible. This is what they wanted. Second thing, anybody who doesn't believe in Puritanism will go to hell. That is what the Bible would say. So Emerson's had a different kind of idea. His church consists of one member, that is himself, no restriction to God, each person's connection to God. So no set of rules to follow in order to know God or to reach heaven. So this is his concept, unlike the Puritan church, where they always felt that they would go to hell if they don't follow the church. So what are the beliefs of transcendentalism? Okay.
1
Now,
minute, ma'am. They can't hear, I believe. Your volume, can you?
Okay, I will. How do I go about it?
Rita,
One
you
sec,
know?
what?
Oh, ma'am, but we can hear, ma'am.
Okay. One
You can
girl.
hear.
Yeah, I can hear.
My volume is maximum here.
Okay.
Maybe
Maybe her
I think
internet could be. How about you
Or
girls?
she'll have
All
to
of you
check.
can hear?
Am I going fast?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I go
Let
a
them
little slow?
message in the inbox, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes,
Can you hear me now? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
fine.
ma'am.
Am I going fast or shall I go a little slow? Let me know, girls, in between. Rita, you just try to talk to the girls.
Please respond, girls. If you simply keep
Those who can
quiet, we won't
message.
know.
Yeah, I have a very
Yeah.
poor internet connection since morning.
Those you all can message on the chat box, so it will not disturb ma'am, and we can have a look at it. Okay. In case you all want ma'am to go slow, a bit slow, or if there's any problem.
You want me to repeat
please
also?
message.
I don't mind repeating.
Just message on the chat box. Okay.
We need your response when we ask something, girls. Is that clear to you?
Because just now I was talking about the transcendental movement, which they should know before knowing Whitman. So again, you want me to repeat? I don't mind repeating, girls. Just let me know, because you got quite a bit to understand in this session.
Can you
Girls say yes
respond?
or no in the chat box.
Can you
Or
hear
you
me
can unmute
loud?
and you can speak. You can see all of you, Deepthi. Those you all can respond. Vaisakhi.
Ma'am, it's fine, ma'am.
Yes, it's fine.
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Okay,
Okay,
fine.
guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Please
Like
go
this, all
ahead.
can keep responding. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Now I'm coming to another part of transcendentalism, that believes in transcendentalism. Okay, divine can be known only through emotion and intuition and not through reason. This is one of the main essence, that is the beliefs. And champion individualism, which is the spiritual center of the world. So the Emerson and Whitman especially believed in individual is very important, and individual's presence in the society. Because of the individual, society will progress. Let me repeat, because it's a very important theme. Individual is very important, and individual's presence in the society, and because of the individual, society will progress. So everything is connected to the soul, and the soul's connection is with God, and God and the soul are one and the same. So let me use a Sanskrit word here, Vasudhaiva Kutumbam. So nature and soul, they have similarities. So this is the main theme of Whitman, and this is what you should know. So you should know nature and study nature. Now these three people, Emerson, Whitman, and Thoreau, they practically lived in nature. If you look at Thoreau, he has written a beautiful poem called Walden. He went to the forest and lived there, and that is how the creation of Walden had come. So the same with even Whitman here. The birth of leaves of grass comes from nature. So nature plays a very important role in these philosophers, and in their philosophy found solace in nature. So it's the only through nature you can know God and know yourself. So uh, based on this, I would like to quote a movie, and it's a beautiful movie, and if you have time, please have a look at it. This book called Eat, Pray, Love is written by Elizabeth Gilbert. Okay, and it has been made into a movie with a great American actress called Julia Roberts as an actress. If you have time, please have a look at it. So it also talks about beauty is near us, and we need to realize that you need um, uh, to discover in your everyday life. That is the transcendentalism. If you look at the movie, she goes to three different places. In the first place, she goes to all the hotels. She enjoys life. She's a free bird, and then she notices that how her life has changed when she's alone and when she's with nature. And then she goes into the religious aspect of it, visiting all holy places and doing meditation, then going into trance, and how this meditation has changed their lives. And the last one is she goes to Indonesia, Bali, and there she finds true love, and then how important is love, and how you balance it along with your life. So this is a beautiful movie by um, acted by Julia Roberts. Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. Continuing further, how individual is very important and center in the world. The relationship is very important with the soul, with nature, and with God. This is very important again. So some of the writers who during the transcendentalism period or transcendentalism period is the first one who start off is Emerson. So Emerson is an American scholar, and then how he insists on two things: duty and influence, which are the main traits of transcendentalism. Then American scholars will make America while and it is a message to all the Americans to wake up from the slumber. Then the duty of American scholar is to free America from foreign influences. That is, especially he's talking indirectly about Britain. So this is what American scholar talks about Emerson. Then Whitman, or we can also talk about, he gives an example like how tidal waves are very important, and how the waves are connected to the moon, follow the moon. And so does the people of America follow America, then awake America, and people will follow the scholar. So ideas of his work were very important here. Then comes Whitman, the father of the free verse. Free verse means how the poetry doesn't have any rhyming scheme, punctuation. It is how he has written freely. This is the first part of American poetry which has been written in the free verse. So he goes into the annals of American history. And his work, Leaves of Grass, is a brilliant and a spectacular work, especially on the poems I Celebrate Myself, and What I Assume, You Shall Assume, and Every Atom Belongs to You also belongs to me. This is a concept which he talks about. So every person has a potential and nobody is greater than the other. So individual, again, is very, very important according to Whitman. And in most of Whitman's pieces, there is an influence of Emerson's writing, and Emerson also is influenced by William Blake and the romantic poets. We can see nature at its best. And so I spoke about first transcendentalist Emerson, who started this movement, followed by uh, Whitman, and then Henry Thoreau, he's called Sir Henry David Thoreau, which he talks about live the life you have imagined. He wrote a very important poem in 1854 called Walden, which nature plays a very important role. Them. Now, even till today in America, you have a very important American newspaper magazine called The Dial. Even till today, you can see that some of the writers who write in this and contribute articles are associated with transdentalists. Now, what are the rules of transdentalism?